everyone, it's Ashley and I'm here in my Hertz Rent-A-Car for another episode of Destination Putnam. Today our guest is going to be David Dew of Freedom Home Inspections. He's a new home inspector here in Putnam County and he is doing a phenomenal job. So if you are buying or selling your home and need to get a home inspection, you need to give David a call. Let's pick him up. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to Destination Putnam.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited you're here. Everybody, this is David Dew. He is with Freedom Home Inspections, and why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself?
So I'm David Dew. I'm originally from Michigan. A lot of people don't know that. I came down in 2009. Actually started a corporate career down here.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of a different story. I think a lot of inspectors are like previous contractors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was actually like in accounting, finance, management. And recently, in the last couple of years, decided to take the plunge and start this business.
Yeah. And what drew you to home inspections, instead of just starting your own financial, company?
So my dad was a licensed builder. He did a lot of additions, so I kind of grew up around it.
Yeah.
That's kind of he pushed me a lot to, go to college, take that kind of traditional route, but I guess it was in my blood, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure.
I also, just really like helping people. Just making informed decisions and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And what have you liked so far about owning your own company?
There's a lot of positives and negatives. It's very rewarding. I mean, just looking at the positives. So
yeah.
It's very rewarding. It allows you to, whereas in the corporate world, you're kind of bound to policy and internal policy where you can only do so much within the company's policy. So you get a little more flexibility to help people. I mean, just yesterday as an example, I went out and looked at a basement for a lady for free.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, so just trying to help people out when I can. Obviously, you still got to make money and pay the bills. But, I couldn't see myself being able to do that in a corporate environment.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you own your own company, you can kind of make your own decisions on what's best for you and your company. I mean, pending legality and all of that.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's a really cool thing, and I know that we've gotten a lot of rave reviews over some work that you've been doing since you opened up, and people are really excited to have you here. So let's talk a little bit about like a home inspection. What it seems like a very big process. Like, what are the key things that homeowners should know, and why is a home inspection important, not only for the buyer but for the seller?
Just looking at the buyers, because that's the majority of our clients. I guess the first thing, and I'm kind of laughing because it's kind of the ongoing conversation with realtor friends of mine and stuff, that the expectation should be that there's going to be a lot wrong with the house. There's a lot wrong with every house. No house is perfect. Even brand new houses, we're going to probably find 15 things that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be, one thing to consider and kind of have that expectation going into when you're buying a home. And so when I work with first-time home buyers, as an example, I take the time and actually go through and explain those things. Like, hey, I see this problem on 90% of the houses, so I try to do that.
Yeah. To make it ease it a little bit, to say, like, this is a normal problem.
Right,
This isn't, your house isn't going to fall to the ground, but it is my responsibility to point this out to you. And there is a way.
Yeah, and things like baluster spacings between handrails. Like my house that I live in was built in 84, I believe, and before then, the baluster spacing code was wider. Right.
Sure.
So most houses that we see are going to have that problem. So we try to explain that kind of thing. But the really important thing is to not skip an inspection, is because we see a lot of different houses. Hundreds of houses a year, and so we kind of see some of the typical things that, when we're looking at the exterior as an example, when there's negative grading, which means in West Virginia you're pretty much going to have negative grading on one side of the house or another. So we might start looking a little more for moisture. Whereas your average homeowner or home buyer may not know that right off the bat.
Yeah.
I've also worked with like contractors who have been working, in certain fields for a long time, and they know their stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're like, man, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like those inspector glasses,
Yeah,
you kind of
you're
get.
just looking at it with a different view a little bit.
And the home buyers are more or less trying to visualize themselves living there, as opposed to let's objectively look at this property. So you get some emotions involved and,
absolutely.
and things like that.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I think emotions on both sides, because nobody wants to, as far as, the seller goes, nobody wants to say like their house has any issues at all. I mean, especially when they've put their life into caring for it and all of that. But in reality, things happen.
Right, and a lot of the issues that we find, the sellers don't even know that it's an issue.
Yeah. What do you love most about doing business here in Putnam County?
I'd say that probably the top couple things would be location.
Mm-hmm.
So, as an inspector, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
So being quickly to Huntington or quickly to Charleston is a huge advantage for me to kind of play in the middle and be in both of those markets.
Yeah.
It's 20, 30 minutes
both ways.
Both ways. So that's huge for me as like a more of a traveling service.
Yeah.
But also the support. And I swear I'm not just saying this because it's your show, but really like the Chamber of Commerce and stuff like that has just been phenomenal for our business. I mean, like the stuff we did with Nucor and stuff like that. I mean, that business coming into town, and they were introduced through you. So, just very grateful and thankful for that.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Just excellent network of small business owners, but it's we all help each other out, kind of a deal. So,
well, that's what we're here to do. Excuse me, sorry, I had to sneeze. But that's what we're here to do, and that's what the Chamber's purpose is to help business owners and business, not even just business owners, small, large businesses, all help each other. There's a space for businesses as large as Toyota, all the way down to your yourself.
Yeah.
And so there's space for everyone, and if we can all just work together and support each other, then we'll have a really successful community and a community that's enjoyable to live in. So
yeah. Well, and you guys kind of bridge that gap with programs like leadership.
Yes, you're a leadership Putnam graduate.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I mean, to do the tour. You mentioned Toyota. That's what kind of triggered it. But seeing their operations and seeing how much they're helping the community. And
Absolutely.
Things like that, so.
Yeah, they are a major support system for our community. Not only by offering good, phenomenal paying jobs, but also the support that they give back to the community through donations and other just programs and things that they do within our schools and how they support them. They're really a vital piece of our community for sure. So, but what'd you love about Leadership Putnam?
There was a lot. There's a lot more to the county government than I was initially expecting. I mean, you kind of get, just by living here, you kind of get a little bit of each component, but we really saw the details of each, in the inner workings of each division and stuff like that. And I don't know, I think my favorite one was actually the courtroom thing.
Oh yeah, with Judge Stowers,
Yeah,
Judge Stowers and our circuit clerk Stephanie Smith. They put together a wonderful day for us that day, where we got to learn about the court system and how that works, and our sheriff was there, and prosecuting attorney and all of that. So that's always a very interesting day, because I don't know that people fully understand, unless you've had to be involved in the court system.
Right. Yeah, so we see news and things like that. Where it's like, I wonder, like one of my specific questions was like, tell us more about the plea bargain arrangements, remember?
Yes.
So, you hear about that, it's like, what is that?
What actually is that? Yes, we have a great, our judges in Putnam County, our circuit judges, Judge Stowers and Judge Reeder, they do a really, really phenomenal job, and they actually go above and beyond with, their duties by offering, family court and juvenile drug court and all of that. That's something that they also do. So that's cool. But yeah, if you, thanks for the testimony for Leadership Putnam.
A little plug in there for you.
Yeah, a little plug. That is a 9-week leadership course dedicated to helping people in our community learn more about what makes Putnam County what it is, and it's every year in the spring. So. But
yeah, that's the reality of it. And then of course we network with the classmates there and develop friendships and relationships there. So
absolutely,
as a business owner, that kind of stuff is really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. What did we talk about? Like what advice you would give to somebody that is looking to buy a house and looking for a home inspector? What advice would you give to them?
Don't just get the cheapest one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we spend like 3 to 4 hours. Like today, this afternoon, I'll be at a 4,400 square foot house, and I'll probably be there for 4 or 5 hours.
Oh wow.
Whereas maybe the cheaper level inspector is going to be there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
One of my kind of punchlines is we do a whole lot more than flip a few light switches on and call it a day.
Yeah.
We're going to get in the crawl space, going to get in the attic. We're not going to rush through it, and that it's really just about the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
When you're buying a house, it's such a big investment. You don't want somebody to go through and kind of do what you can do, right? As an individual.
Yeah.
You want somebody that's going to take their time, look for issues, but also explain the issues.
Exactly.
And take that extra time. So, I mean, the average inspection is probably around 3 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there like a time per square foot like an average time per square foot you should expect?
So there's a lot of like fixed times, right, if you will. There are some variable like square footage, but just having that conversation, some of the stuff, if the client's going to be there with us the whole time and we're explaining things as we go, that might take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the golden rule, that's perfectly fine, because we want them to be informed and be able to ask questions as opposed to just seeing a big report and trying to figure it out on their own.
Yeah. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you to schedule one, what should they do?
Call me.
Call you. How do they call you?
681-340-8260.
Perfect. I appreciate you riding along in Destination Putnam with us today. Appreciate our friends at Hertz as well as our partners at CBI. Give David a call.
Thank you. I appreciate
See you guys.
that.